Welcome to Hall Pass Sessions. This is your all-access Hall Pass to what the legends of the game are talking about. Legends from the Hall of Fame, the PBA, the PWBA, and the best that youth bowling has to offer. Hall Pass Sessions, complete with positive thoughts and a tip or two to help. And of course, legends to host. Now, here's Hall of Famers Carolyn Dorin-Ballard and Leanne Barrett-Hulsenberg. This is Hall Pass Sessions.
Hola, good people. Happy Tuesday, everybody. We are back to Hall Pass, and we are going to be continuing our discussion that has to deal with league bowling and the changes at USBC and the ever controversial traditional pins over string pins. But this week, we've brought in an expert. But first, before we get to her, let's bring in my sidekick. Come on in there, Leanne Barrett-Hulsenberg. How are you, my friend?
I am good today. How are you doing? Are you working hard?
We are. Yeah, you're working hard too. I know you're getting ready. Let's open with that. You are getting ready for one of the best youth events in the country this week. SYC will be in Smyrna, Tennessee, the backyard of Vanderbilt University. And tell us a little bit, how many kids, anything special going on? Who's going to be there?
Yeah, it's 150 kids. Our first time back to Smyrna since 2020. We've bowled in Smyrna 3 times. This will be our 4th year there. It's always a good tournament, very popular. I think a lot of people can drive there. So it always sells out. We had like 80 people on the waiting list. But we're going to miss you this weekend, but you're sending little Ballard to hang out with us, right? And you've got your sister and your niece, and everyone will be there except for you. Boo.
Everybody's going to be there except for me, but I will FaceTime or live with somebody or something. I want to see what's going on. Yeah, we're doing an event in Sturgis, South Dakota. That's a whole other ball of wax, and maybe we can recap that next week. But I'll definitely put some updates out there. Trying to make bowling better. As you know, there's going to be a whole lot of pros there. Pro-Am has filled. Just trying to centralize bowling and make everybody happy in all respects. Not sure that's ever going to happen, but
everybody?
We're going to
you want to make everybody happy?
I mean, we're going to try. We're going to try very, very hard. But as you know, there's lots going on in the bowling industry. We have, USBC making some rules. And of course, urethane is a big to-do. And league bowling season has started. And throwing all these rules out there, everybody gets crazy. Some bowling centers this season have changed over from traditional pins to string. So we thought, what a great show it would be if we were to bring in an expert who not only knows about string pins, but she looks a little bit like me. She has 2 USBC titles, team events. She is the Qubica AMF district sales manager for Ohio and Northern Kentucky, and also is in the Ohio State and Local Hall of Fame. So let's welcome Sis Cathy Dorin-Lizzi. Were you laughing at us? How we start?
No, I was embarrassed because as soon as you started, the dog started barking.
That's okay. Leanne has a dog. Blair has a dog. You have a dog. I have Dell. Everybody starts barking. I don't understand.
Dell, don't bark tonight, Dell.
Don't bark tonight. We don't want you getting loud down there, Dell.
Anyway, it's more like mommy, don't bark tonight.
Exactly. That is true. Cathy, thanks for joining us. I know everybody is super busy, but there's a lot going on in the industry right now. League season just kicking off. Tournament season for the fall is kicking off. There are some bowling centers who have recently changed from traditional pins to string pins. And of course, that's an uproar.
Yeah.
We here in Plano, Chris Warren has 2 lanes in his pro shop. One's, on the string pins. He has 2 lanes, sorry. Just kind of monitoring what string pins is all about. So I guess to get started tonight, first of all, what is a string pin? Because I want everybody to actually understand what is it.
So it's a pin on a string, but
Right,
it's an actual real pin. So a free fall pin, but we drill a hole in the top and in the sides so the string can go through the top and through the sides. And it's an Am-Flight 2 bowling pin. It's nothing different. It's the same pin. It's just that you're drilling the holes in order for it to be on the strings.
and I don't think
And
many people know that. I don't.
no, they think it's a now for mini bowling, for duck pin bowling, that's a different pin. It's smaller.
Right,
But this is
right.
just a regular sized bowling pin uh, that you would see in a free fall machine.
And I think a lot of people had a feeling that string pins were different, made of something different. They were different height, weight, the whole thing. So yes, I know it's a string on a pin, you bums. But I wanted people to understand actually how that string is actually put into that pin. And I
Yeah,
think that cleans it up.
and so let me just say that the reason our company came out with the string machine, there are 4 companies that have a string machine. I believe 150% Qubica's is the best, and there's a reason why. We manufacture ours right here in the United States. Some others do not. And we have the top engineers working on this type of product. And the reason the product came out was because, like everything else, bowling balls, um, the environment in the bowling center is changing, not just for the bowler, but for the proprietor. And so mechanics are retiring, many are end of life, and the people that you're getting to replace them, they don't have the knowledge and the security in that type of position that we know our mechanics used to have. A mechanic would last 30, 40 years at a bowling center. We don't have that anymore. And the ones that are taking over just don't have the education. The parts are becoming too expensive. The payroll is becoming too expensive, the electricity. So Qubica came out with a machine that can erase all of the ills of the proprietor. Qubica wants proprietors to make money. They want bowling centers
Mhm.
to stay in business. But like
Right.
any business, if the business does not show a profit, they will not succeed. So this machine came out because anyone can maintenance it. And you two will love this because you're coffee drinkers, right? I know you're both coffee drinkers. So the amount of electricity that the edge string machine from Qubica takes is the same amount that you would to make a pot of coffee. That's it. So it's $12 to $14 a year per machine to run that machine.
Wow.
And our machine has so many special features and benefits that make it special and above the rest on the market, because it'll shut off if no one's bowling. So now kids nowadays, when we were little, we just bowled and bowled and bowled. Well, these kids today now are on the phone or they're on their tablet. When that happens and there's a lull in play, the machine automatically turns off. So you're saving electricity there. It's all about savings for this machine. And we've built safety in the DNA of this machine. There's no more climbing on top of the machine to reach into the distributor or reach into the pit. No more of that. There's no climbing on these machines. All of the maintenance is done from behind. You get 5 tools, anyone can maintenance it, and you get a pin fork. Now, for a proprietor that's short like me, you need a step stool, but that's about it, because I'm a little too short, but I can still reach to make every adjustment possible. So
Right.
$64 a year in parts. Your labor, you will not have to pay someone $50 or $60,000 a year now to just maintenance
Yeah.
this machine. And honestly, if you have a great mechanic, you're not going to get rid of them, because a lot of mechanics now are afraid they're going to lose their job, because
Sure.
now we come up with a piece of equipment that doesn't require someone to maintenance it all day and all night.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
That's so key about the the maintenance and the lane man, because last week I was bowling league, and we have a great mechanic here at right here at Watauga. He's actually young. He's in his middle 40s. He's been doing it since he was 21 or 22 years old. Like, he
Yeah.
loved bowling. He just learned, and he went to the school, and it was Brunswick Zone first before it was Bolero. So of course he went up the chain of mechanic, center manager, the whole thing. Um, and I was just talking to him about that. And one of the keys that he said was that he's not afraid of losing his job, because now there are other areas of the bowling center they feel he has learned over the years. Now they can use him in those areas instead
That's
of
correct.
just, if it turns out to they change to a string. They're
Yes.
not right now,
Yeah.
but he said, I'm not afraid of that. What I did was I learned the entire bowling center. So if I lose something back here, I know they can now use me in another area and still continue to work for the company. So I thought that was actually a great thing to hear, in that someone was learning more about the bowling center than just one thing. And I think that's where we're headed as well. Leanne, I know you had a question.
Cathy, is Qubica the only, this is going to sound a little bit like Shark Tank, but is Qubica the only manufacturer of string pins?
No, I
Okay, so
believe
there's
there.
multiple. Yeah.
Yes, there's quite a few others. I think there's four, but again, the benefits and features and the special features why our machine is above the rest is because we are also the only one that is certified with USBC, PBA, and International Bowling Federation.
Hmm.
And so that speaks volumes as well. There is a pro bowler out on the men's tour that is a proprietor and put them in, and he said it has made him 100% a better bowler. I don't know how much better he could get. He's the best in the world, but I believe it makes you have to be more accurate. Now, when we go back to men pros against female pros, that old, why are they better? Why are they better? It's because I felt women had to be more precise when we bowled. I still feel that way. On this machine, I think everybody does. But, your better bowlers are always still going to rise to the challenge because they're just more experienced. But this machine is top notch because we also have the biggest pin shield. Your open play bowlers, they don't care what they're bowling on. They're there to eat, drink, and be merry and have a great time. But the proprietor is the one that needs to see the savings, because with all of the other things that families and kids could do, we're in competition with keeping the open play and your customer base. And so this brings a different experience. Qubica is all about bringing an amazing experience to their customers. It's not how your customer feels when they enter the bowling center, it's how they feel when they leave. And you have to have something to get them into the center and a reason for them to return. So the experience that everyone will get from this machine is above the rest, which is why it's number one.
You
Leanne,
should
you
be a
had your hand
salesperson
raised.
for Qubica.
Leanne, you had your hand raised.
You really know your stuff. They should hire you.
Well,
You
and
should run the
I
company.
will tell you, when I was offered this job almost 7 years ago, um, you know, I wouldn't have taken the job if I didn't believe in the product. And we have the product in our two centers, but I have a conscience. I could not sell something that I didn't think was what it was. And it is. Sometimes we have products that basically can sell themselves, but I encourage anyone watching this, if they have any interest or any questions on this piece of equipment, please reach out to me or reach out to your sales rep in your territory. If you don't know who that is, call me, but go see this product in person. The two of you have seen it, you've bowled on it, and you really have to see it and to believe that this works, that this is going to revolutionize the bowling business and the bowling industry if it hasn't already.
I love that analogy, and honestly, I know Blair is listening. Why don't we roll the video? Can we roll the video of the two shots on the traditional lane and the string pin, and we can chat just a little bit about that?
Put my glasses on for that.
So that's when Marcia and I were down at Storm. And as you said, Kathy, and even Marcia said it, on the string pins, even though we both struck, we felt like we had to be more high flush on the string pin, which was me on the right lane. On the left lane, we didn't have to be as high flush, and the light hits carried more. We're not going to show you all the shots, but we kind of tracked it. Now, Leanne, you bowl down there quite a bit. What do you see?
I see the same thing. It's just you have to have a pure shot, which it makes me remember, and you probably bowled a few of these. When I lived in Oklahoma, we had a lot of tournaments at Boulevard Bowl in Edmond,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they had
Yep.
magnesium pins, which were a little
Oh,
heavier,
yeah, three
and we had
pounds or
gold,
something.
yeah, and we had gold pin tournaments. And you really, like, back then, like, if you were light, you would leave the bucket and nothing
Oh,
was
Yeah.
wiggling. It was such a great tournament to bowl because you really did have to make the best shot off your hand. And,
correct.
you know, I think, it's probably 50-50 with bowlers. I heard a guy at the military tournament 3 weeks ago. I don't like string pins. And I said, why? And he said, I don't like the way they fall. And so we had a nice conversation. I wasn't egging him on or anything, but I just thought, I'm going to have people talk about it because they just have this negative connotation. But I said to him, I go, you realize everyone's going to be bowling on them. Like, it's not just you bowling on them. So, like, the people you're bowling with will be bowling on the same stuff as you. So I don't know. People are just, they have their opinions, but I don't know. I don't mind them at all.
Well, and I think, as a proprietor as well, you know, they have to find something to complain about. And unfortunately, that's just part of the bowling industry. The problem is they get afraid. They're afraid to make the change because we're all a product of our environment. This isn't real bowling. The pins aren't going to fall the way I'm used to. I'm not going to get the messenger. You know, you might not, but this is where it's going. And this is the best product if this is the avenue you want to go. The other thing is, I know proprietors are afraid to make the change because they're going to lose league bowlers. They're going to lose leagues. Not if you bring them to a center. We've done this quite a few times. We bring bowlers from a center. We host a little party for them. We let everybody bowl for 2 hours. All their league bowlers, they bring 20 or 30
Mhm.
people. We host them to do that so they get an idea of what may happen to the center that they bowl at. And the other thing is, after a month of bowling on them, they're going to go right back to complaining about the fact that they can't play five. It always goes back to the fact that the shot is terrible. They changed the shot on me. So, it's always
Right.
going to go back to that. This is just another change for everybody to have to get used to. And we totally understand that. But we welcome people to say, hey, I'd really like to bowl on those string pins, and we can find a center for you to do that in your
Yeah.
territory if you're really interested in making that change. But this is the way it's going. And I encourage everyone to bowl on them and go see them in person. It's a beautiful piece of equipment. The savings is life changing, and it's just the way it's going.
Right. That's Leanne, our signal. That's when we have a question. We raise our hands, Kathy. It's like in school. I do have a question, and I actually asked you this when I was sending you some questions last night. There are a
Sent me
few
questions
times
last
though
night.
where yes, they did, but that's okay. If you're shooting at a split, uh, you see the pin fall over a, maybe a second after, or um, you don't think you made it, and all of a sudden the pin kind of just goes over again.
Right.
5 seconds later or whatever it be. What is the I don't know if I'd say time frame, or what is the record of um, do the strings get tangled? And then the fact of when they get tangled, do they help with, making splits or knocking over the pin afterwards? What is that scenario?
So the scenario on tangles is every bowling center is going to be different, but from all of the research we have done, If they go a week, if they go a whole league night and they get one tangle, that's a lot.
Okay.
There may be two tangles, there could be three tangles, but the proprietor or the mechanic doesn't have to be there all night. Your cocktail server can run back and fix that tangle. Now, here's the amazing thing about our machine as well. The machine will try to untangle itself between 5 and 10 times before anybody even has to go back there. And the other thing that Qubica has that nobody else has is something called Tech Wizard. And it's an app that everyone in the bowling center will get on their phone. And everyone who works that night scans a QR code, and now they're signed into Tech Wizard. Anytime there's any issue with any lane, the string is too tight, the string is too loose, there's a tangle, any type of maintenance, it will automatically go to everybody's phone. And whoever wants to go back there to address it, if you can't remember how to untangle the strings, it tells you on your phone in written form. If you still don't understand it, it shows you a 2-second video.
Oh my God.
It's unbelievable technology. And the other great thing that our system does that nobody else does is all the changes get made at your front desk. So once you are a Qubica customer and you have Conqueror X at your front desk as your management system, at 5 o'clock, when you know league is getting ready to come in, those string lengths go to the USBC length. When league is over, if you don't have league on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it goes back to the regular open play length. Nobody ever has to go back and do anything.
Ooh,
It
I didn't know
automatically,
that. Thanks.
and you set that at your front desk through your
Yeah.
setup. Your trainer will show the proprietor how to do that. And then automatically you push a button and that happens. So
So
I'm telling you, the time saved of not being back there, and the mechanic, as you said, Carolyn, is now able to do other important things in the center is huge, is huge. Yeah.
So we have self-driving cars, and now we have pin
Self-adjusting pin spotters. Yes. Yes.
Exactly. And there's a gentleman, I believe, in the chat here that says tangles are very rare, where someone has to go back and fix it. He said when they were first installed, they had a few, but it's gotten better over time. So, that's something nice. Leanne, here's a question. Did you see that? Is Storm going to put string pin centers in at Ben Lomond?
Well, I'm not privy to all the plans for renovation, but I would say there's probably a good chance. Yeah, I think they're exciting, but I would think because the person who's been the mechanic and the manager and all that, he is kind of retiring, so I'm not sure there's a mechanic to take his place. But nothing is happening at Ben Lomond until after league season because we don't want to interrupt the league season. So all the renovations will take place like next spring, I think.
Okay. Very nice.
When they're ready, you have them call us.
I think we did have a Qubica AMF representative already visit the Storm headquarters.
Good. Beautiful. I was going to say, your people call our people.
That's right.
I'm looking to see if we
I would much rather see string pins go in a bowling center than the bowling center close.
Yes.
Period.
That's what I always say. That was my answer. 2 weeks ago, I was somewhere and there was a bowling center closing, not the center I was at, but one of the centers, I don't know, 50 miles away, about an hour away, was getting ready to close. It was a family-owned center. The kids really don't want it, but it needed some renovating, whatever it be. Land was probably worth more, whatever it be. But that was one of the discussions. And I said, if they're looking for cost savings, have they thought about string pins? And they said they did, but again, it's being passed on. It's generational. And unfortunately, the family, the next generation just doesn't want to run a bowling center. But I think this is such an option for people that are possibly on the fence of, do I want to sell? Do I really not want to sell? I can save some money. And I think this is a great option in so many ways from top to bottom with running the bowling center. How many, here's a great question. You may not know this answer, right? How many bowling centers in the United States right now have string pins?
I knew you were going to ask me that, and you told me yesterday, you don't need to have all your stats.
Okay, well,
And I should know that. I should know that off the top of my head.
no,
But
you
there's
shouldn't.
probably, I bet you, I wish one of my coworkers was going to send me the answer. Um, a lot, more than
That's
anybody else.
more than
Way
we
more.
think. More than we
What,
think.
5,500?
And I would say this too. I wonder if that statistic is for the smaller centers, the 16 laners and less, which is a
But we're
huge
more,
cost savings
and
for them.
we're worldwide as well.
Yeah,
You
right.
know,
I knew that.
we're all over the world.
Mhm.
And the other important thing too is for those centers that are thinking of, listen, it's what they, sometimes it's not what they want, it's what the bowling center needs. Wants and
Mhm.
needs are two different things.
Sure.
We all need we all need a roof, we all need a parking lot. That's what you hear from every proprietor. I get it. When I first took this job, my trainer would ask the proprietors, if I gave you $200,000, what are the first two things you would do with the money? And they all said, well, I need a roof and I need a parking lot, or it was HVAC. They had to replace
Mhm.
all that.
Sure.
Now, your roof, you're not going to make any money. You need a new roof, but you're not going to make any money with a new roof. Now,
Right.
I disagreed with him. I think you can make money off of a parking lot because it's the presentation of your center.
Right.
And once you get somebody in, then you've got them in. Now you have to find a reason for them to stay and come back. So the string pins are the same thing. Is it your want or your need? And I think now in the industry, with the way prices are and the lack of mechanics, the lack of knowledge of mechanics, it's the way to go because there's just savings in every area. Payroll, electricity, I mean, you name it, parts.
Right.
I mean, I have a center that pays $1,000 a lane a year in parts. That's a
Ah,
lot. This is
wow.
$64 a lane
Yeah.
per year.
Wow.
That's a-
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Leanne, you have a question.
Yeah, I just want to be a little bit controversial just while we're chatting. And Kathy, I don't know if you know the answer to the first part of this question, but is USBC doing uh, collecting data like on scoring? Like, are averages going, are they a little less on string pins? You know, like stuff like that. Are they, and it's probably growing data because the more string pin centers go in, the more data they can do. But is
I
there anything?
believe I believe that they have run data because when they were sanctioning, when they came out with the notice about 2.5 years ago, that in order for any company that had a string machine, in order for it to be sanctioned, these were the changes that needed to be made. So everybody had to turn around and make two machines. There's one that's not sanctioned, which the sanctioned one isn't for everybody. If you're
Sure.
100% open play, you really don't need that. But the changes that they asked of the companies at that time, then they were running data on the averages and the pinfall, the difference in the pinfall and the averages. Now, they ran a tournament. We had a tournament called No Strings Attached about 2.5 years ago, and Jason Couch won. And they took
Oh, yeah.
a bunch of pros, right? You all saw the
Yeah.
literature on that. They took a bunch of professionals and they had them bowl on regular and string machines. And
Mhm.
they all came back and said, if there was one pin difference, I think it's one pin difference in average.
Mhm.
I asked Jason, on the down low, because we're personal friends. And I said,
Right.
listen, tell me the truth. Do you really think there's no difference? No, he said it was awesome. He couldn't
Right.
believe it.
Hmm.
And Jason would
It's
be
funny,
honest. He would be honest.
and
Yeah,
he'd
because
be honest too.
I was thinking if the string pins were a little lower, kind of like sports shot averages, like they would,
Right.
that it would
Right.
actually benefit a person to go bowl state tournament on a place with no string pins. So you'd have a lower average and you could go.
Right.
So I thought that might be somewhat controversial, but if
Yeah.
there's really not that much difference, then there's no controversy and no concern about that. I mean, that's
Right.
Yeah.
good. People
And
should know that.
that's an awesome question. It comes up all the time. And so what we wanted to stress to bowlers was, especially the proprietors, was there wasn't that much of a difference because we don't want them to
Okay.
fear they're going to lose leagues, because if you lose leagues, you lose it,
Right.
your yearly income. But
Right.
no,
Right.
there was not that much difference.
No, and I
Sounds
had
good.
some information here that I looked at from USBC, and it said USBC has completed its study on certified string pens after finishing its scoring research. This was the report from 2023, which I think was one of the first ones, if I'm not mistaken, with the conclusion that there is no statistically significant difference between the scoring pace of USBC certified string pen setters and traditional free fall. So in 2023, their first conclusion was just what you said, Kathy. I mean, you're talking nothing really. Now, they did say they were going to continue to test it, monitor it,
Yes.
update it, of course. And
Yeah.
as bowling styles change, I mean, well, we never thought two-handers were going to average 20 pins a game higher, right? I mean, it's it's all relative to the
Right.
change in bowling. So I think it will be I think it'll be interesting as they monitor this. And
Yeah.
as you know, what I would love, to be honest, I would love for tournaments to have those stats and just compile them, like send them into USBC, at the end of the event, and USBC compiles them as the governing body to see just around the country what's different. We do have a question though, and I didn't know this either. uh, Carla asked, "What is the difference in the length of the string?" You said one gets shorter for open play, and one then gets
Seven
to
inches.
the USB function. And
Seven
is it
inches.
just simply okay? Is 7 inches is the USB-C legal length, correct?
Longer. 7 inches
Oh,
longer than the open play length. I got
And
gotcha.
what
pictures
is
of
the
that.
reason? What is the reason to have the difference? What's the benefit or
So
disadvantage?
USBC required everyone who had a string machine that they wanted the length longer because they wanted it to react more like free fall than it be shorter.
Oh, okay.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the changes that they made everybody make in order to have a sanctioned machine was it had to be longer in length. The string length had to be longer. We had to have a ball door and longer kickbacks but the difference in ours as well is
Gotcha.
the
Okay.
ball door, as you all know, on a pin spot was constantly going like this, right? Constantly open and closing, open and
Yeah.
closing. The ball door on ours will only open when the sensor shows that there's a ball back there. So that's where a
Okay.
lot of the
Oh,
savings on
okay.
the electricity is as well. But those were the changes that
Interesting.
they asked the companies to make. I will say too,
Okay.
I have a center that had 34 lanes. They put brand new free fall machines in 24. So now they have 10 lanes that they were going to put string. So I had to call USBC. How would we do the averages for those leagues? Because one week I'm on lane 22 and then the next week I'm on 3 and 4. So one week I'm on
Mm,
string and the other week I'm on free fall. Have to, can
very
you hear me
interesting.
even though I know I froze? Can you still hear me? So what they
Yeah.
said was you would have to average out the weeks
Yes.
that you
Yeah.
bowled on free fall and the weeks that you bowled on string.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
And I know I mean, we could talk about this all night. There's so many questions and such great information. This was another great one. Do we know how many 300s have been bowled on string? That's a USB-C question, I bet you. Well, that would be just certified leagues. That's a great question,
No,
Justin.
the companies would know. We've had the most.
Okay. That's
And
interesting.
I believe the first one was in Canada.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay.
But
Okay.
we just had Mike Ducat just
Mhm.
opened up the old Southwick lanes in Toledo, where the PBA
Mhm.
bowled forever.
Hmm.
And it's now called Incredible Entertainment. And he has 40 lanes of string. And one of the kids that used to bowl in my youth program, he's now bowling in college, just shot the first 300 there about 2 months ago.
Oh,
Nice.
Just
wow.
one of them. Yeah, really,
That's
really exciting.
that's awesome. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, this has definitely been enlightening to me, and I know you. I mean, I talk to you all the time, and these are things that people should know, just
Yeah.
so that
They
they can
should.
make so that they're not turned off immediately, or just it
Right.
goes to the negative place.
Yeah,
Right.
preconceived. Yeah.
Right. These are the
And
things that,
nothing's
wow,
foolproof. There's no negative. I mean, but nothing's foolproof. You have to
no,
work it through and work through the little kinks here and there. But overall, it really is one of the best products. And
right.
Qubica AF is the leading scoring company in the industry, but this is one of the best products that they have come out with in a long time. That can revolutionize the bowling industry for everybody, not just the bowler, the proprietor.
Well,
Yeah.
I
It's
also
really,
like the fact that USBC, PBA, and the IBF have all
yes.
endorsed it, and they're all on the same page, which I think we need a lot more of in bowling. But this has been wonderful. We may have this again eventually as the season's going on, and I'm sure somewhere along the next few months we'll have some discrepancy of traditional versus string, or a mechanic quit because, whatever. I'm sure there will be something going on, but Cathy, this was great. I mean, you're really smart. I don't know
Yeah.
where you get it, but you're really
Your
I
stuff.
mean, it's unbelievable. I think it comes from your mother and your older sister. We guided you so well. Oh my God, what great genes you have. Uh,
Don't say that too loud. Mommy's going to want to jump on the camera.
oh, I'm sure she's screaming at the Met game downstairs right now. But thank you so
I
much for
know. I
joining us.
wanted to say go Mets. Yay.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us. This was
Thank you for
fantastic.
having me.
And
I love you
and
girls. Thanks.
yeah, this is wonderful. This is what we do. Leanne and I just meet on Tuesdays and we just chat.
It was
I
great
love
info,
it.
though.
I want to be part of the chat. So I won't see you this weekend, but I'll see Leanne this weekend.
That
I'll
is
see you.
correct. Yes, but we'll be chatting because I think you're going to be picking up maybe Alyssa and Sapphire on the way. So I'm sure we'll be talking. But thanks, Kath. Love you, and have a great day the rest of your week, and have a wonderful time with Leanne this
Thank you,
weekend.
girls. Thank you.
Yeah.
Love you, girls.
See ya. Love ya.
Bye bye.
She knows her
I
stuff. What a
Oh my
pro.
God, she's a smarty patootie.
That's some
I mean,
facts.
she's oh,
Facts.
wow. I'm telling you, I did tell her though, you don't have to go on all these stats, but just give us the basics. But rattling that stuff off, bang.
So
I
my
mean, that
favorite thing is that she said that with the data they're collecting, there doesn't seem to be an average disadvantage, a scoring disadvantage. And I like
no,
that because that's the one thing I thought, oh my God, what if it's like 10 pins less? And then
right.
you go to a tournament, there's going to be all this controversy like you bowl on string pins, so you have a lower average and blah, blah, blah. But that's good info. And they should actually keep sharing that info because maybe the negative perception of string pins will go away if the facts are out there.
It's funny you said that, and I think that's very important, especially in today's environment in bowling. I think I think we need to be more transparent. I do.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I don't want to bring that word up, and it, I don't want to be negative. I really do think we
Love
need
it.
to share more. I know everything for so long is so proprietary. Nobody wants to give away a secret, and I get that. But when it comes to stuff like this, the data, I'd love to see the PBA data. I would love to
Mhm.
see the USBC data. I would love, I want to see IBF data. Like, can we compare it?
Mhm.
Just see
Yeah.
what people are doing differently.
Yeah.
Because if we do work together with some of this stuff, maybe the kinks can be worked out a little more quickly than letting it go on and on and on. Um, and again, with the three entities working together, I agree with you 100%. Data is so key just to keep
Mhm.
us all informed. So,
Agreed.
uh,
Agreed.
yeah, and I'm sure the websites all have stuff on it too as well. Everybody who produces a string machine, I'm sure, has a lot of information on there. So, Leanne, I'm going to give a selfless plug, or
Oh,
should
let's
I
hear
say
it. You don't do that. Let's hear it.
2 weeks? No, 2 weeks. It's the 1 week countdown. Well, 2 week countdown.
Oh, the
BVBC.
biggest event of the year. The best event of the year.
Well, but just letting everybody know, if you're not here in Texas and you care to donate, check out ballardversustheBigC.org or check us out on Facebook. And every penny counts. We are going to break $1 million this year. And our wonderful friends at Storm and our SYC families have helped us do that. So I hope the girlies raise a lot of money this weekend while you guys are in Smyrna. You're going to have a great time. Love that. Love that area. Love Tennessee.
Is great. Hey, Carolyn, did you happen to watch the USBC live discussion of the new urethane rule today? Or were you
Um,
busy working in the pro shop?
I was, well, I actually was doing some work, but Dell did have it on
Mhm.
his phone, and I could hear Tom talking just a little bit. So I cannot tell you everything I heard. Would
Yeah.
you like to give us a little tidbit? Because I would love to hear it.
I was busy. I didn't watch it
Okay.
because I was finalizing the SYC stuff. But I was wondering if maybe in 2 weeks we should have a USBC urethane discussion, like on
I
our
would
hall
love it.
pass.
I
Let's
would
let
love
the facts and the stuff come out and figure. See, I'm still trying to decipher all of the rules. Like, but I do have
Me
some
too.
questions. But
Me too. And I think
kind
the
of
one that bothers me, first of all, I don't need to use urethane, but it's a part of our world. So let's
yeah.
just leave it at that.
Yep.
Um, I don't, the one I don't understand the most is that you can use a potentially illegal ball in qualifying, and then that ball gets taken away from you once you make the cut, beating everyone in match play. That one I could not wrap my head around.
That was my biggest red flag. I did not
I
understand
that
that one. Yeah.
it's if there's any chance that the ball is illegal, it should not be in play. It should
Right.
not be in play. Now, I'm not saying what ball that is. I'm just
No,
saying from
yeah.
my head to be, uh, how can you use
Yeah.
something that you shouldn't be to start, and then you can't use it later. That one was a clincher on me. So, Leanne, you have now forced me to go watch the video,
Well,
and
let's
I
watch
do
it,
agree.
and then we'll reconvene, and we'll
I
get some
I think so.
non-biased person to talk about
Yeah,
it.
I think
Like
that'd
who
be fantastic.
someone. We need someone in
And
the middle.
and I agree. And Stephanie's listening. She goes, "I agree." Um, what are we doing next week? What is our show? Did we even have one for next week yet? Have we decided?
I was thinking we would do our show in 2 weeks, and we'll do the USBC the urethane thing. That'll be our topic, and we'll have enough time to
Okay.
sort it all out.
Okay.
We'll
So
take
are
a
we
little
not
break
having
next week.
are we not having a show next week? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
We're taking a break.
We're taking a break. I
Got to
love
get
it
ready
because
for BBBC. I know you're going to be stuffing 1,000 goodie bags next week, so I wanted to give
I
you a little time off.
I am going to be stuffing bags, and I'm also going to be busy on October 21st, but that we'll talk about. We're going to go to a cancer care event,
Ooh,
but I may do a live and send it to you guys off my phone. I don't know, just so you could see where that great money that everyone at SYC is giving, what a cause that is. So, all right, well then. Everybody, we're going to take a break next week. I love that Leanne chose that because it's going to be busy next week. And in 2 weeks, join us here. We are going to be talking about urethane.
you're a thing. Did you know that?
Urethane.
Did you know that Michael and Darren Tang wanted to create their own urethane line called Uretang?
Urethane. Oh, I kind of like that. I kind of like
I don't think they're going to do that anymore, but
that. Probably not, but that was a great thought. I love it. Well, Leanne, I wish you luck this weekend at SYC.
yeah,
I will be keeping tabs. Enjoy your time and enjoy the Tennessee area.
safe
I
travels to South
love, love,
Dakota,
love that state.
and
Yes, and I
you
will
all
see
have a
you.
nice event.
Okay. And I will see you in 2 weeks. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And I love the questions. That's awesome. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, we'll be back. You got it. All
All right,
right. Is that Chuck Woolery? Two and
Woolery,
two?
2 and 2, love connection. Yeah,
All
we're
right.
old.
See you. Bye, my friend.
Bye.